at the website, the things your organization values most: scholarship, leadership, and service. And the thing that really excited me, do you know what the foundation for those pillars are? Now, I'm just quoting your own website. I won't ask the officers here, but it's integrity. I love that. Integrity is the foundation for those 3 pillars that you value. I like that organization. Now, when you look at integrity, it's the 3rd definition in the dictionary. And integrity means no divide, no split, no division. And you think about in humans, what does that really mean? There's no divide between what you say and what you do. So Blair, in this group tonight, we aren't going to have none of those lack of integrity things. We're going to serve and we're going to learn more about ourselves, I just feel it, than we've ever known before. And in the doing, we're going to make a difference in the community where we find ourselves. That's the hope that's in this room tonight. Now, I have 3 points that I'm going to make. Some of you are putting my feet to the fire because you're in my public speaking class, and you're counting to see if I'm giving a preview. So tonight, I will cover 3 things. I'm going to talk about having people in your circle that have integrity. I'm going to ask you to go to those people who have integrity. I'm going to ask you to seek advice from those people. And then I'm going to ask you to serve and then lead. But first, as we start looking at this integrity thing, you've heard the saying, it takes a village, right? It takes a village to raise whatever or produce whatever. And the idea is great, that with a lot of people working together, you get there, correct? But there's danger in that because it doesn't always measure success. Because one thing we forget, it depends on who's in your village. Okay? So there's a little bit of us in here with selecting who's in my village. And you all have this amazing opportunity to carefully surround yourselves, as you're doing now, with people of integrity. One of my favorite theories, and I'll move quickly because I don't want to bore you with theories, but I love a good theory every once in a while because it sure does help us understand certain dilemmas. Social construction of reality theory says, you want to change your life? Change the people with whom you communicate daily. I think there's something to be said for that. So as you surround yourselves with people of integrity, who are willing to serve, who are making the grade, and they are leaders in training and they're serving as they go, it just becomes an automatic outflow from your surroundings. The second thing that I want to challenge you to do, seek advice from those people of integrity. Again, remember integrity, no divide, no split between what I say and what I do. Have you heard the story? I think it's an old Indian tale maybe, of the prairie chicken and the eagle. Good, I was so afraid that I'd have 100%, yeah, I know that one well, and I would lose my main hook on the second point. The story goes that a young brave was walking through the forest and he finds an egg that's fallen out of a nest. And he picks the egg up, but the nest for the eagle is out of his reach, so he could reach the nest of the prairie chicken, so he puts the egg in the nest of the prairie chicken. And so, as unrealistic as it probably is, but it makes for a great story, the eagle hatched but thought he was a prairie chicken. One day, as he was grubbing with all the other prairie chickens, he looked up to the sky and he saw this amazing sight that stirred something in his heart of hearts, whatever eagles have. And he sees the grandeur of flight, and he asks the prairie chicken, why does he think he can do that when I'm standing here in the dirt eating grubs and worms? And the prairie chicken looked at him and he said, okay, eagles soar, eagles do grand things, that's what eagles do. But prairie chickens, they stay on the ground and they eat grubs and worms. That's what prairie chickens do. Now, the moral to the story, don't allow yourself to be hemmed in and set with limitations by how others view themselves. So I want you to, did you like that story? Thank you so much. I'll pay you two a quarter later. So don't allow yourselves to be hemmed in by those who would say, you can't do that. You can't serve and go to school and make the grades, which leads me quickly to my last and final point here, my third and final point. I want you to get your wings at leading first through serving. All right? Now, as you're surrounding yourself with around you, you have people of integrity, and you have those people that you've carefully selected in your village. I want you to take great care of what you do with the best you have. That is, I read that a few years ago, and actually it was spoken by a theologian and a scholar, and the two don't have to be at opposite ends there. They don't have to be a contradiction. In this case, this man, he has amazing ways to stir the soul, even with words he had written over 100 years ago. Take great care of what you do with the best you have. Sitting here in the midst of this immense hope, we have brains. I think we have hearts bigger than the city of Columbus, and we have ability like we've never had before. So as you find those areas for service, one of my favorite sports quotes, and it was by John Wooden, and I saw it as I was walking down the halls of Muskogee Elementary School last year. You are the community service organizer. Oh, I so want to talk with you. Let's get together. There are a couple of initiatives that you all can have your hands all over, even if it's just an hour a week, an hour a month, an hour every 3 months. And it would make such a difference. One of our initiatives that we're doing now, and it calls for service that requires little time, but it makes such a difference. And it's reading to a very precious group of at-risk pre-K students. I don't like to think that at-risk and pre-K go together, but they do. These children are usually, we need about 1,700 words in our vocabulary if we want to thrive in kindergarten. And these children are lucky to have 700.
Wow.
What we do, we go in and we read 20 minutes and interact with that child around a special book. Each week it's a different book. We have readers go in. I was a Thursday reader this last time. I wouldn't give anything for it. They didn't know I was a doctor. They didn't care what my title was. I was just a friendly face who thought they were amazing, and it might have been a long time since somebody had told them they were. And I read with them, and we talked about what it means to be an illustrator, who the author was. There's a gold seal on this book. What does that mean? Oh, it's a Caldecott winner. Oh, we talk intimately about books. They touch books, and at the end of the week, I was able to write a grant that at the end of the week, they got to take those books home. I would love for you all to be part of something like that. Another thing we do, actively, I could use you now. I could give you experience serving, and you'd be ready to come out of here leading. We also provide tutoring for 3rd through 5th graders at 2 locations. Wilson Housing area and Booker T. Washington. And those communities are so proud of the tutoring that goes on there. And I'm at the age where I don't reach children like I used to. I don't know why. I'm still pretty dynamic, or try to be, but there's nothing like sending a college student in there to teach them 3 plus 3 or 3 times 3, and to be there the moment they get it. These are some small initiatives. Large community collaborations, very well protected space. You're never alone, but I guarantee you, if you stick your toe in that water, it's going to change your life.